What are the experts predicting for our economy? I know it's a very scary time with all the negative news and doom and gloom. I feel it's important to take a look at what the experts are saying and base our decisions on that information. Hi, I'm Dana Weil with Coldwell Banker Select, Owasso Homes and Lifestyle Group. We are constantly asked, so what's happening in the housing market? Well, what's going to happen to our economy, and should we be thinking about buying or selling a home in the Owasso or nearby Collinsville areas? Well, let's take a look at what's happening on a national level. According to Sam Cater, chief economist of Freddie Mac, and I quote, "Although the uncertainty of the crisis means forecasts of economic activity are more unclear than usual, we expect that most of the economic damage from the virus will be contained to the first half of the year. Going forward, we should see a recovery starting the second half of 2020. Locally, we are still seeing buyers out in full force and inventory is very low. We are also continuing to see multiple offers on most properties, and they are still moving rather quickly. Obviously, in the economy, there are a lot of unknowns right now, which also can add to our anxiety and stress. But if we look at what we do know, that will help us to make more accurate decisions about buying or selling a home in the Owasso and Collinsville areas. We know that we started this year stronger than ever. However, due to the coronavirus, we are in a high unemployment rate right now, and we know that the Fed is doing what they can to help. The good news is that we are in a record low interest rate environment as well, which leads people to wanting to buy because they have more purchasing power. Also, more good news is that equity amongst homeowners is strong. According to John Burns Consulting, 42.1% of homeowners own their home free and clear, meaning that there is no mortgage associated with their homes. 16.6% of Americans have between 60 and 90% equity in their homes, and only 7.3% of Americans have less than 10% equity in their homes. This is very different than in 2008 when many people used their homes like ATMs. Homeowners seem to have learned their lessons, as 58.7% of all Americans have at least 60% equity, which will help offset a housing crisis. This is good news for Americans. Also, rental values continue to go up. We have seen an upward tick on rental costs since 1988, and they are still continuing to rise. This again promotes buyers wanting to purchase, as they don't get the tax advantages and other benefits of homeownership. Also, additional good news is that in the first few months of the year, showing rates, which shows us how many homes that are for sale that are being showed, the showing rates continued to increase until around the week of March 8th, when showings took a huge dive, as many areas had to shelter in place and were not allowed to show. However, since the week of April 12th, we are seeing a showing rate increase, and it's significant as the shelter-in-place restrictions are being lifted or easing up. So buyers are still out there, and it isn't all doom and gloom. Please feel free to reach out to us anytime. We are here to answer all of your questions, or even if you need some advice about what to do in regards to buying or selling your home. This is Dana Weil with Coldwell Banker Select, Owasso Homes and Lifestyle, where our focus is always real estate, relationships, and results.